Hi, we haven't met before, but I hope you can finish watching this video and listen to my story. Have you heard about intersectionality? It refers to the interconnections among all the social identities a person has that makes this person who they are. I, too, have many social identities. I am a grad student studying in the US, I am Chinese, I am a woman, a friend, etc., etc. And a few weeks ago, I obtained a new identity, a victim of romance scam. And I lost all the money I saved up in the past. I can't really tell you how much I hate about this new identity. It all started with an online dating app. Online dating apps like Hinge and Tinder market themselves as means to finding long-term partners or casual relationship, which can be very fortunate for those of us who have a hard time finding potential partners offline. But did you know that hundreds of thousands of people have lost millions of dollars to scammers who create fake profiles and pretend to develop feelings for these victims? In this video, I want to tell you a story about how I became one of these victims and the lessons I learned from my experience. I hope that watching my video prevents you from the financial ruin and heartache I experienced. So please help spread this video around, but also help me stay anonymous and protect my privacy if you're able to identify me. Although I consider myself really good at spotting email, phone, immigration scams, I wasn't on my guard against this new type of romance scam when I decided to listen to my friend's advice and create a Hinge account. Hinge's marketing slogan, the dating app designed to be deleted, sounds very attractive, right? Because I wanted a serious relationship. 3 months before creating my account, I broke up with my ex-boyfriend because of trust issues, ending a 3-year relationship in the midst of a hectic semester of grad school. I thought I made it through the darkest time of my life. I passed my finals, I survived the semester, and moved into a new apartment. I thought everything was getting better and felt ready to start dating again. My experience with dating through Hinge had been mostly positive, except one guy I went on a date with, who seemed nice, ghosted me with no explanation. Since that hurt, I didn't use Hinge for a couple weeks. And then this guy, Lin, sent me like on June 28th. According to his profile, he's 29, originally from Taiwan, and went to Parsons in New York. I matched with him, and that was how my nightmare began. However, at the time, the scammer made it feel like a dream come true. After I clicked match, he messaged me immediately, which I thought was pretty unusual, but he said he just downloaded Hinge today and it was his first time ever using dating apps, so he was quick to respond to notifications, which makes sense. After chatting for a few minutes, he asked if we could switch to another chatting app, WhatsApp or Line, because he was experiencing some problem with Hinge on his phone. I didn't have either app, so I suggested we could chat on Instagram instead. The first 2 days, we chatted casually to learn more about each other. He told me his name was Ray Lin, or Lin Ray in Chinese, and that his mom was from Taiwan, but he was born and raised in Shanghai. His parents immigrated to New York and worked in the trading business when he was in high school. He then became an architectural designer after college. And then he said he recently moved to a city about an hour away from where I'm located for a construction project, and that he would be moving to where I live on July 10th when the project ends. I was thinking, oh well, the timeline worked for me perfectly because I didn't want to meet in person anyway until my big commitment is done around 7:10. So chatting online is fine. And then on June 29th, he asked me again to download WhatsApp. I asked why, he convinced me. And he was like, no, I'm not going to convince you, I'm just telling you the reason. And he said, because I have my WhatsApp locked in my laptop when I'm at work during the day, so if we use WhatsApp, I wouldn't miss your message during the day. And I told him I don't have any friends on WhatsApp, and he responded, I would be so happy if I became your only one. That would make me feel special. And I was like, okay, fine, just downloading one more app hurts nothing. So we started talking on WhatsApp. And he actually told me that he deleted the Hinge because he thinks he found the one. Think back again about the Hinge's slogan, how would I be suspicious? He greeted me every morning, afternoon, and night. Every sweet thing you could think of a nice guy would say, he did. And he seemed to have himself together, getting up at 8 a.m. to the gym to work out, starting work at 9 or 10 a.m., getting off around 5 or 6 p.m., and at night he would suddenly stop texting me for about 3-4 hours, according to him, to make cryptocurrency investment plans. Of course, the investment topic came up again and again. He showed me screenshots of profits he made in 60 seconds, which were a few thousand US dollars. I didn't know anything about cryptocurrency. I still don't, honestly, but I did know that people can make a profit, and I know there are professional investment experts, and Lin made me believe that he was one of the experts. Soon, he convinced me that there would be no risk following him because he spends hours every day to make investment plans. He said he has never done anything that is out of his control, and he also showed me how to invest, which made me feel like he was very reliable. I started with $1,000 on July 1st. He asked me to download Coinbase Wallet and Crypto.com, two legit apps. But the trading was done on a fraudulent platform, although I didn't know that at the time. He guided me step by step, sharing screenshots of how to recharge and how to withdraw money. So seeing more money come into my account, and then I put in, made me trust that he knew what he was doing. And then he convinced me to invest $5,000 more into my investment account, and he also put $5,000 in my account. I know I sound foolish, but I did have my suspicions initially, and even asked him why not just wait till we meet in person to do all this. And he claimed that only these few days have good trend to invest, and we don't want to miss the good timing. This is the field I'm good at, and I never share this with any of my friends. I like you a lot, so I only share that with you. And, making more money, so you don't have to worry about your tuition, and you can even support your family. I was like, how sweet, how thoughtful. And just like that, every time I raised any concerns or any suspicions, he would argue with me and eventually convince me to trust him. And I also was beginning to feel that he's the man I've been looking for. On July 8th, he told me about this bonus couple event and asked me to add this offline customer service on WhatsApp. Ta-da! New character introduced. By recharging $131,000 and $420, we would both get $13,140 bonus on investment account. Lin again convinced me to participate in this event by telling me it would be crazy to give up any chance of making more money. And he has done so much just for our better life together in the future. But I did not have that much money, so I put $10,000 into the account, whereas he put about $100,000 in my investment account. We got the bonus, and of course now I know these were just numbers on the fake website. I've never seen his extra money. But he then said, let's use this money to make more profit. He even said that he wanted to move in with me when he moved to where I live. We started making plans to travel to Hawaii and go skydiving in August, but when July 10th came, he told me that a worker for the project was in charge of fell from the second floor, and he had to take care of that. Now his project would not end until July 20th. At the moment, I was like, oh no, that's very unfortunate. Yeah, no worries, take care of your work first. And on the 12th, he told me that he went out for dinner with colleagues. And after he got back home, I told him that I wanted to come to his town to meet him afterwards. He agreed to meet and claimed that he was making a plan for it, but the next day he said he felt sick on the construction site and his symptoms got worse over that week. And then he told me he tested positive for COVID on the 16th. And then he said, yeah, he probably got infected from one of his colleagues at that dinner 4 days ago, even before I brought up this meeting in person topic. Such a great script writer. So our plan to finally meet in person had to be postponed. What could I say? COVID. I mean, such a great excuse, but at the time I just thought it was unfortunate again, and yeah, sure, I can wait for 10 more days. And during those days, he said, babe, I'm too sick to make any investment plans, and plus there's no good timing recently, so let's just get all our money out to your bank. And the withdrawal amount at that time was about $277,000. I mean, who would not want to take that much money out if it was real? But as soon as I submitted the withdrawal request, the amount was frozen. The verification took about a day, and on the 17th, the offline customer service representative told me that I had to pay $50,000 in taxes before they can unfreeze this amount. So I told Lin about that, and he was like, "Wait, what? Taxes? I forgot that we had to pay taxes in July. Now I remember I paid that last July. Oh no, what should we do? That means I have to pay taxes too. Mine is even more than yours. Hey babe, I have this great idea. Let's just do this. We will finish your tax payment, get the $277,000 out to your bank, and then you lend me some money to pay taxes to get my money out." And of course, I agreed to his idea and also sympathized with him because, most of it was his money anyways. So for the tax payment, I had to recharge more money into that fake investment account. I know it sounds ridiculous, and I argued with the customer service representative, but still, I chose to trust Lin, believing he has more experience in this. So for the tax payment, I put in another $14,000, and he paid the rest of $36,000. Again, just number rising in that fake platform, never seen his real money. So after this tax payment, by July 20th, I already spent all the money I had saved, $30,000. Lin kept saying that we could definitely get our money back soon, but I began to have this awful feeling I would lose my original $30,000. But still, I thought he was, that was nothing compared to how much Lin put into my account, nearly 10 times more than I did. Fast forward to the 24th, and the offline customer service rep told me that I entered the wrong account info, that they need to verify my identity. So I sent my social security number. Oh, actually, I asked Lin first. I said, "Hey, they are asking me for my SSN. Are they really reliable?" And Lin said, "Yeah, why not? Well, of course you could choose not to give it to them, but then we wouldn't be able to get our money out." And then after another day of verification, unsurprisingly, they said I had to pay another $30,000 returnable security deposit before they can release my funds to my bank. I grew paranoid and kept asking for evidence. Evidence for the tax statement, evidence for wrong account number entries, and of course the evidence for this $30,000 security deposit policy. And of course they provided none. Instead, they just kept saying, "Please watch your words." At the same time, Lin started blaming everything on me, asking me why I was so careless to have entered my account number wrong, but I was 100% certain I didn't. He told me just to do what the customer service rep said and get the money out as soon as possible because he needed the money for his tax payment. He even said he pawned his watch for $18,000, and then he put that amount into my account and asked me to take care of the rest. I thought that platform was very suspicious, but I still naively trusted Lin at that time. However, that trust crumbled away on July 27th when I was really trying to ask a friend to loan me some money. I had to tell him everything because I had to tell him, why I needed the money. And he told me that he's 100% sure I got scammed because he experienced the exact same thing a few years ago. I was shocked that he didn't tell me about such an awful experience. And if my friend hadn't told me his story, I would have disagreed with him since I had feelings for Lin. And this is why I think it's so important that victims of romance scams tell their stories. If we don't tell our stories, then many other people will become victims as well. So after I realized that I fell for a scam, I still didn't block Lin and the customer service because, I tried to remain in contact just to, buy some time. And since Lin told me that he still had $3,000 in hand that he was going to charge it to my investment account, I tried to say that I need emergency money right now for my rent. So just transfer that $3,000 to me, to my real account and help me pay my rent first. And then my friend would help us to pay lend us some money for the deposit. But he wouldn't pick up any phone calls and just keep making excuses. Of course, they won't actually transfer you money. So if you want to test if this is really a scammer, you could test that out as well. So I started, while trying to remain in contact, I started all the police reports to Hinge, WhatsApp, Instagram, report to the FBI. But it turns out there's no way these coin artists can get caught that fast because it's an internet crime. Nobody knows where they're actually physically located and who should take on the responsibility to take actions or to investigate this case. So after collecting all my evidence, I blocked their accounts. And honestly, until my friend found the real person whose pictures Lynn sent me, I still had hope that Lynn was not a scammer. But now, I am both financially broke and also heartbroken. That's the end of my story, and I won't lie and say I didn't enjoy the fake romantic relationship for a while, but now I feel so disgusted every time I think of how the sweet guy who I thought I was chatting with was actually a criminal organization that knows how to manipulate human psychology and take advantage of the desire, people's desire for love. And there are so many stories on Google, on the Chinese social media, and I'm still shocked that I never heard about this before. I thought things like this would never happen to me, but only after it happened, I started to search for resources and similar stories and realized, wow, they are really out there. And that's how we became victims. And by the way, their fake trading platform is still active and working, as of today. I wonder how many other people they are scamming right now at this moment. It's just so awful. Although I chose to share my story because I believe there are still thousands of people falling for romance scams every day around the world, I would also really appreciate if you could support my GoFundMe site that my friends helped put up for me in order to help me recover financially. The $30,000 I lost was all I saved up in the past few years. I am a money saver, and my friends were so surprised that I have that much saved in the past few years. But I can't imagine how long it will take for me to save up that much again now. And I am also terrified that I won't be able to afford finishing my degree, pay my medical bills, and get a needed surgery I was planning to have done this year. But thank you for listening to my story patiently. Now I want to share some lessons I learned with you. So first of all, what are some common tricks these scammers use? First, it says that this new trend of romance scam originated from China a few years ago, around 2017, and other Asian countries as well. This new scam trend is also called pig butchering scheme or 杀猪盘 in Mandarin. The victims are seen as pigs. They would spend time to raise the pig first, meaning to gain trust and affection of the victim, and then eventually kill the pigs, meaning to steal all the money from the victim. And a lot of the criminal organizations are located in South Asian countries. They often target people who are possibly isolated from family or friends, such as international students. They would possibly buy your profiles, all the information you've entered to the internet from black markets. So there's really no privacy in this internet world. 2, they are active across social media platforms wherever they can direct messaging you. But dating apps make the most sense because all the users have the same purpose, looking for a romantic relationship. And 3, they steal pictures online from ordinary people and then create fake identities and profiles on dating apps and other kinds of social media. And they have people working for them who are experts at understanding human psychology. So they will make their profile attractive to you and you will want to match with them. And they take advantage of cyber access restrictions between countries. For example, in my case, the stolen pictures from Chinese social media platform, so I was not able to recognize those pictures, those were stolen pictures when I used the US internet. And then 4, they start chatting with you and then quickly suggest switching to another chatting app, usually WhatsApp or Line, and less often Instagram. They rarely use WeChat. If you're Chinese living in the US, they rarely suggest you to use WeChat because WeChat would automatically give you a warning if someone is talking about transferring money. And they pretend to be very caring, hardworking, responsible people with some sort of traumatic experience with their exes. But in my case, Lin actually did not talk much about his ex, except that he said it was the heartbreaking past and it's not worth mentioning, and that he enjoyed every relationship he had and he had beautiful memories with his exes, which made him seem more real. So I guess this group of scammers must be more experienced and skilled. Next, they want to develop a romantic relationship fairly quickly over a few days, weeks, or months, I guess, depending on this team's experience and skills and also your responses. Some would be willing to video call or phone call, but with technologies, the person on the other end is not who you thought they were. They usually will never meet you in person. I mean, they would make plans, but it will just never happen. but they will say all the sweet things you want to hear just to keep giving you hope and motivation. Eventually, they would bring up what they actually wanted, topics about money. In my case, and many other cases that are more successful, the scammers introduce investment schemes and say they are professional investors and they are generous enough to share the skills they have with you and to convince you there's no risk as long as you follow their instructions. Combining this with the romance part, they say that making profit is for our future, for our better life together, and everything they do is for the two of you. So with the investment part, they may ask you to download some legit investment apps to confuse you, but what you're really putting money into is a well-made fake website or app. They would not ask you to lend them money directly. Instead, they would even help you to put money in your fake investment account, much more than you actually put in. The only difference is that what you put in is actual money, but what they put in is just some sort of, changing number display on that fake website. And also, they would make you feel like $30,000, $100,000 is not a big deal. They would also teach you how to withdraw a small amount of money at the beginning to make you feel like the money can be easily transferred anytime. But once you try to withdraw a large amount, they would make you pay all types of fees upfront alongside fake customer service representative. The person who you were trying to develop a romantic relationship with tried to separate themselves with the customer service, but they are actually working together. They might just be sitting with each other when you're chatting with the two of them. But again, these scammers really do not care about how poor or how rich you are. Their goal is to steal all you have from you, no matter if it was $500 or $5 billion. And I want to emphasize that, again, every case would not be exactly the same. I've read so many different stories shared by others, and there's not an exact same script because their script writing is individualized. So how do you prevent yourself from falling into this type of scam? Basically, just remember these 4 principles when using dating apps or developing a romantic relationship either online or in person. 1. Read the safety tips on the dating app carefully. Hinge is hidden in their help center. I didn't find out that their safety tips actually mentioned about romance scam until I already fell for a scam. So please, dating app companies, if you can see this video, make those safety tips mandatory to read or make a required quiz after they read them. 2. Be open with your friend or people you trust if you're seeing someone or you're online chatting with someone, and try to be open with your close friends and families and ask them to help with screening. I know this was hard for me because I am a private person. 3. Do not trust anyone who you never met in person. Keep all your identifiable information secret until you meet them in person. Do not share any inappropriate pictures on any apps or online. And say no to any unknown source that asks you for money. Buying your date a meal or drink when you meet in person is absolutely a sweet thing to do, but even if you've met this person face to face, if your date asks you to spend extra money on any sort of app or website you've never used before, stop immediately. Now, what should you do if someone you know, either your friend, colleague, or family, fell for a romance scam or any type of scam? First of all, never judge. Never make fun of them and never bring up their traumatic experience unless they bring that up first. As victims, we already blamed ourselves, cried, felt stupid, foolish, helpless, hopeless a billion times over. We don't need anyone else to tell us how stupid we were. The reason why there are so many victims who chose to stay silent is because of this dangerously judgmental social norm. My friend told me that his family brings this up repeatedly whenever they talked about money. Yes, I can understand that his family was trying to protect him from falling for scams again, but really, do we really need reminders? I mean, they are awful experiences, but they are at the same time unforgettable. People who fall for romance scams are very often intelligent, well-educated people, but at the end of the day, we are just humans. And humans trust humans. Humans need love and deserve love. Those scammers take advantage of this human nature and develop all types of tricks to get fast money. They are professional scammers, and that's their everyday job, so we should not feel stupid. It's not our fault that we became a victim, and nobody should judge victims. Secondly, please just listen and encourage. If you can help them financially, please do so. However, if the victim refuses financial help, respect their request and offer them mental support. Check on them regularly and help look for other resources. Now, what should you do after becoming a victim of a romance scam? I really hope nobody will ever need to use these resources in the future. But if you realize that you're experiencing a romance scam, stop losing more money right now and stop all the contacts. Second, collect evidence. Screenshot, screen record, and document everything, including all the conversations, transaction records, and the fake platform they created. Next, file reports and complaints with the law enforcement. In the US, only the FBI has more power to investigate internet crime, so be sure to file a complaint to the IC3, a dedicated place to report an internet crime. Optionally, file online complaints with the CFTC and FTC. And file a police report with your local police department and get a copy of the police report, or at least the case number. Although I was told very clearly that my case would not be investigated because nobody knows which part of the world these criminals are located, but if the FBI needs more evidence, they would reach out to me, who knows when. So no detectives or investigators have ever taken any of my evidence, but at least I have a proof of me being a victim. Sounds miserable, but they're going to be useful at some point. 4. To protect yourself from future identity theft. If you provided your personal information such as SSN, bank account information, phone number, and email address, contact your bank to file a claim, change your account number if needed, place an initial threat alert with one of the 3 nationwide credit bureaus. 5. Avoid being double scammed when trying to recover your financial loss. Remember, it's nearly impossible to get your money back once you put your money in the fraud platform and they've ghosted you. Because as soon as you put your money into that account, they would do money laundering to, legalize the money, and it cannot be traced by any way. So after you lost your money, you may fall into the mindset that I have to find ways to get my money back as soon as possible. You could choose to tell your family if they can provide you financial support, but never take out any loans that are not trustworthy. Do not trust any scam recovery services that ask you to pay fees upfront. Lastly, after you have done all you can within your power to seek help from law enforcement and protect yourself from future possible scams, you can look for and apply for community resources that can help you potentially reduce your living expenses or financial aid programs that can help you with emergency money. After all that, give yourself a break. I know it was a lot. It was a lot to me. Once you become a victim, you have to do a lot to prevent future harms. But give yourself a break after you've done all that and clear up your mind, cheer yourself up, and look forward. Do not do anything extreme such as using alcohol or drugs. It's hard and it may take years to recover, but at least we are still alive, we're physically safe. Where there's life and health, there's hope. There are some words that the police officer told me that inspired me a lot, and I want to share them with you guys. He said, yes, that's very unfortunate, but remember, you are a victim of a crime. All those scammers, they are criminals. So don't feel bad about yourself. You lost your money, but one thing will forever stick with you, and that is you will never fall for any scams again. You will be extra cautious, and you can recover. It will take some time, but you can recover eventually. So now I'm recovering. I can never get rid of this victim identity in my life, but I can definitely enlarge and shine my other identities to bury my victim identity. Like my friend said, everybody in this world will probably get scammed at some point in their life because this is how this world works. And I'm thankful that I experienced this when I'm young. I'm thankful that I'm still alive and mentally stable. I'm of course trying my best to save up again, trying to focus on my school, my work, and also trying to do more pleasurable activities that do not cost money. Probably cannot travel for a long time, which is really sad because it was my dream and favorite thing to do. But I still have hope in my life. I would really appreciate if you help spread this video around in your community and support my GoFundMe page if you can. I've attached all the links I mentioned in my video in the description section, so feel free to check them out. Please help raise public awareness of this new type of romance scam. Your forwarding may save someone's life at some point. Lastly, I hope all the scammers will get caught. There are no more victims in this world. And if you once used to be a victim of a scam, I wish you all the best. I am with you, and I'm thinking about you. Thank you so much for listening to my story.